How's it going, guys? Welcome to the FM Dugout. We're back with Parma Calcio 1913 for episode 7 of Fallen Giant, which sees us start our second season in charge. So, it's been a busy old summer for us. We've gone professional. I've signed a new contract now till 2019. We've signed and sold or released a number of players, so there's a fairly big overhaul of the playing squad, which we'll go through in a minute. And of course, we thought we had ended the season in episode 6, but there was actually another tournament that took place after that, the Pool Scudetto. And yeah, taking a look at it here, you played in a group stage. All the teams that won their respective Serie D groups went into 3 groups as 3. The top place teams went to a semi-final, and the best second place team got through as well. So we qualified. We beat Venezia, who are in our league this year, 4-0 over the 2 legs. And then we played Monza, who are also in our league this year, beating them 2-1 in the final. So we won that cup, the Serie D Cup, and the league. So it was a good season for us. But that counts for nothing now. We need to look forward, and I am looking forward to this season. Today we're taking on Alessandria in the Serie C Cup, Group C. Now, Alessandria have already played one match and they have won it. So we need to win today to avoid getting put out of the cup at an early stage. So hopefully we can do that. But yeah, let's take a look now at some of the transfer movements. So starting with the players that are leaving, we've let 8 players go. I think everyone down to Melandri here had run out of contract. Melandri, Vignali and Rinaldi have all had their contracts torn up basically, and the reason being we offered them out, nobody wanted them, and I mutually terminated contracts, and they were happy enough to leave. A bit disappointed about having to do it, but this is what happens when a team moves up through the divisions. You have to improve the quality within the squad, and it means that certain players will need to go. I mean, Vignali didn't really play for us, right? He's not a great player by any means. And Rinaldi played a number of times for us, and you can see from his stats, he is not a bad player at all. But he's 23, and I've opted to keep Francesco Nani, who is younger, and I think just as good a player probably as Rinaldi. So those are the guys that have had to move on to make way for the new signings. And you can see from the teams that they've signed from that these guys were at big clubs. And this is exactly the type of player that I was looking for. Players who couldn't quite make the grade at the top teams and who have fallen by the wayside, and we just come in and snap them up on a free transfer. But you can also see we've made a number of loan deals as well as a couple of signings. So if we just run through these first, we've got Jacopo Desi, who is a cracking looking central midfielder, advanced playmaker, or roaming playmaker, deep line playmaker. Either way, this guy is going to be a creative force in the middle of the park, and you can see from his stats, you compare that to Rinaldi, this is exactly why we're bringing him in. Yes, okay, he's getting 6k a week wages. He's worth 1 million though. It's an investment. This is what we have to do to improve, and I think he is going to be a great little player for us. And next up is Amadou Salafu, who is also a central midfielder, but this time round, to get that balance in midfield, Desi is a playmaker, so I wanted someone who was just going to be there to break up the play, a real kind of workhorse in the middle of the park. And this is certainly what Salafu will be for us. Fantastic physicals, mentals all in the right place for a ball-winning midfielder. And yeah, okay, maybe lacking a little bit in the technical side, but marking and tackling, the 2 key areas, and they're both at 13. I think he is going to be a huge player for us this year. I think he'll be very understated. I think he won't score many, he won't get many assists, but he will be a big part in how we play. So I'm really pleased to have captured Amadou Salafu. And next up is Igor Bubnic. I think that's how I'm going to pronounce his name for this series. And yeah, again, really fantastic signing to get him in. You can see from his technicals, they're all in the right place. From the mental side of things, not too bad at all. He's brave as well, which isn't highlighted for a limited defender, but it is for a central. So if you look at the central defender here, all double figures, and then look at the physicals, he's good at his jumping. He's fairly quick actually for a centre back. He's strong, good stamina. So I think he is a fantastic signing. He was released from Udinese, and he played in the Serie A last year, 13 games, 6.74. But he's got time to improve with us. Next up is a familiar name, Rodrigo Alborno. So obviously turning professional allowed us to offer the higher wages, and Rodrigo signed up for us. He was with us last year. Quite a versatile player down that left wing, 7.23 in 25 games. So we brought him in once again, and I think he'll make a good addition to the squad. So Stojanovic, our goalkeeper last year, obviously didn't manage to get him in, but I've signed Alberto Brignoli, or Brignoli. Don't know. Brignoli. We'll go with Brignoli. If I've got any Italian viewers, please correct me on this before I embarrass myself any further. But we've signed him in from Sampdoria, where he played a couple of games last year, conceded 5 goals in 2 games. So, they weren't wanting to keep him on. But he looks good. He's got the skills that you're kind of looking for in a goalkeeper. Eccentricity, tendency to punch are maybe a little bit higher than I would look for, but I think nonetheless, at 25 years old, it's a good age, and I think he'll serve us well for a couple of seasons. Next up is Gian Mario Comi, who was signed from AC Milan. Had been out on loan to Livorno last year, 9 goals in 24 games in Serie B. I think he seems like a pretty decent player. He's got more of the kind of rounded skills that I'd be looking for in a striker at this level, so certainly from the physical point of view, does have him down as a target man. I don't like playing target men particularly, but I think his other skills are great there as well. But he's good in the air, so with good wingers, I'm hoping Comey can get a number of goals for us. Next up is another striker, Ray Minaj, signed from Cremonese. He was actually on loan from Cremonese to Inter Milan, which was a kind of strange way to go about it. He was in our league that we're in this year with Cremonese, and he's actually gone on loan to Inter. So it's a bit strange, but he looks like a cracking prospect, 19 years old this time, and again another target man. But if you look at the advance forward, I think again the skills are all kind of met there, but excited about the prospect of him playing for us. Next up, right back, Eugenio Calvarese. So obviously we had Ferretti last year. We still got Aguay, but I wanted somebody else in, and Calvarese certainly fit the bill. He's only on 1.7k a week, but he looks like a good wing back or full back. Again, natural fitness is high, stamina's pretty good, fairly quick, double figure crossing, concentration, positioning, teamwork, work rate, and so on. So I think he'll be an excellent signing for us and should be our first choice right back. Then we've got a midfielder here, Francesco Di Mariano, I think was at Roma. Yep, he was on loan to Ankara at the same level here, so Serie C, Liga Pro B. And yeah, I guess with Francesco Di Mariano, I'm taking a little bit of a punt. He's 20 years old. He's got some good skills, but we really need him to kind of press on a bit. His work rate is 4, which is pretty poor. I would be looking for that to be a lot higher, but I think he's got the kind of technical skills. He's got some flair, so hopefully he can do quite well. And it looks like he can trim his eyebrows pretty well. So yeah, I don't know what to think about that anyway. So moving on, next up we have a loan deal for a striker, Alberto Cherry. You can see from the strip he actually used to play for us a number of years ago. He looks like a pretty promising striker at 20 years old. Again, another target man. So I'm not trying to buy target men, but certainly it seems that's what I'm getting. But he definitely does have that ability, so maybe I will start using target man. With the wingers we have, and the fullbacks with the crossing as good as it is, maybe we can get some joy out of that. But he looks like a good prospect. Bringing him in on loan, it's a low risk kind of deal. Next up is another loan deal for Christopher Oikonomidis. He's going to be a utility man. You can see all the places he can play. His skills are good enough that he can pretty much play in any of those positions. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Next up, this one caused a bit of a stir. So 450k, our first deal where we actually paid any money. Armando Izzo. Now, if you look at him at face value, he looks like a good defender, yeah? And that's exactly why I bought him. But I don't really know the background to a lot of the things in Italian football, and it turns out that Genoa are actually a rival of Parma. Now, it's not a fierce rival, so I think it's a local rivalry. But nonetheless, both the fans and the board seem to be a bit disappointed that I've signed him. Bit bizarre, but I think he will be an excellent signing for us, and we'll be playing with Igor Bubnic as the centre-back pairing. Then next up we have Artur Ionita. Now, I felt in that central midfield area I wanted to have a little bit of depth, and again, it seems as though Ionita can play either the role that Salafu or Desi will play for. So he can play as a playmaker or a ball-winning midfielder, so he's quite a rounded player. He was listed, and I did try to actually buy him, but the whole kind of negotiation with the agent thing, I think I played hardball a bit too much, and I lost my chance to do that. But I thought I'll get him in on loan if possible, so I think he's going to be good. Skills are a bit similar to Filippo Damian last year, so it'll be a kind of interesting selection out of Desi, Salafu and Ionita. We'll see how that plays out over the course of the season. Then we've got Alexis Zapata, brought in from Udinese on loan. 21-year-old Colombian, I think, Colombian attacking midfielder who can play in other positions, but he's really been brought in to try and push Antonio to give him competition. I would like to say Zapata would probably be the better player. I mean, you can see long shots 15, flair 15. I think he has a lot in his locker for someone who's 21 years old. So delighted to get him in and not have to pay anything. I think he'll really help us this year. Then another attacking midfielder here, Armando Vajucci. Again, another player who can play across that midfield, either in the advanced position or back in the kind of normal centre of the park. And he's been brought in to really push Barai. He is another right-footed player who likes to play in the left as an inside forward. Great skills, technique, dribbling, flair, all at 15. Fairly pacey as well, so I think he is going to be a tricky player for our opponents this year. And then last but certainly not least, it's the return of Luca Garitano, and as you'll see from the ticker, Garitano was actually voted for as the fans player of the year, signing of the season and young player of the year. And he was only signed in the January window, so he had quite an impact, and we've brought him back in. And what I've actually tried to do in bringing him back in is get rid of Francesco Corapi. I don't like his attitude. He's actually been left out of the squad, but he complained during pre-season that he wasn't getting enough game time, so I figured I'll just let him go. He's 30 years old. His skills are good, right? Don't get me wrong. He is a decent player, but he's 30 years old and 2k a week. I figured I might as well try to get him out of the club while I could, so he could well be moving on. Anyway, that's the run through of the signings. I am particularly excited about a number of the players that we have got. In terms of the friendlies this year, that was last year. In terms of the friendlies this year, we haven't been able to play that many. I was hoping to play more of the teams from our league, but many of them rejected because they were too busy. A few of the friendlies that I arranged got cancelled because of either their fixtures or the Serie C Cup fixtures. So we only managed 4. We've won 2, lost 1, drawn 1. We tried to play a bigger team as well in Rijeka, and we got trounced 4-1. Brescia and Latina are both Serie B sides, so that kind of gives you an idea of where we are. And our team isn't really fit at the moment, so I think we're doing fairly well. But anyway, guys, let me just turn the ticker off because there's nothing there really to show. Might as well also turn the logo off as well. And let's get on into today's team selection, because there will be a little bit of clearing up to do in terms of the subs. Are we actually allowed to pick? Are we really allowed to pick 12 players for this? And I've just cleared it. I don't suppose I can undo that. Ah, dear. Really, this cup allows 12 players on the bench. Anyway, let's get these guys in and get on with today's match. So I don't know if there's going to be any rulings around the youngsters or so on here. I haven't really been keeping up to speed with it all. Federico Nani. See, Garitano, I would probably like to play today. Oops, wrong one. Vajushi with you. Garitano there. Juan Antonio, want him on the bench. Comey, and how many more have we got? Another 3. Put you and 1 more. Who can we pick? We've got centre back, possibly Lucarelli. Why not? He is a club captain after all. Manaj probably isn't fit enough for today's game, but I'll keep him on the bench perhaps. All right, yeah, I think that's good enough to go with this. So yeah, let's see how we can get on in our first game with our kind of new look squad. Say Alessandria have won their first game, so we do need to win this. Let's see how we can get on. We are favourites, and we should be. So we are second favourites. I don't know if I mentioned that, I can't remember. We are second favourites to get promoted this season, after Vicenza. With the way the league works out, I think there are a number of sort of playoff type scenarios. As Comey gets through here, Vajushi with a shot forces a save, but not really a great shot. So yeah, I really wanted to get a squad that was strong enough to win the league outright, and I think we have that. It will take a bit of time probably for them to gel, pretty much like last season. We might start off rather sluggishly, but hopefully we can get into a swing of things and start consistently winning games and comfortably winning them as well. So anyway, here we go. Calvary's out wide right, Zapata picking it up through to Comey. Ionita is there, offside, not going to count. That's unfortunate on his debut. Would have been nice. Right. It's not a bad start, I suppose. But we've got to defend this here. Can we win it? Can Salafu win that and send it up the park? Bocalon with a shot. Brignoli with the save. I think Brignoli will be a good keeper for us. I don't think Stojanovic was as good as perhaps his stats led you to believe. A number of times he seemed to make a lot of mistakes. Right, we need to play wide here, guys. Calvary's with the ball in, looking for Comey. Can't quite get there. I'm actually just going to try and change things around. I'm going to set Comey to a target man, and I'm going to get the guys out wide to hit early crosses. I think it's set to overlap at the moment, so certainly if we can try to get a few more crosses in and obviously exploit the flanks as well, Maybe Comey will get some goals. There's his chance on his debut. Nice finish from him there, the former AC Milan striker. So good start. I think what I like about these cups as well, it's kind of like a friendly against teams out of your division. So as I say, Alessandria will be one of the teams that well, actually I say it's out of our division, but there's 3 different divisions. So Alessandria, I'm not sure if they're actually in the Liga Pro Girone A or not, but will give us an idea of how we can do as Fischnaller puts it wide, and a throw now for us deep inside our own half. Bubnic forward, Comey loses out, and the attack will come forward here. What can Sheljak do? Bubnic, Ionita, nice little touch back to Alborno. Vidushi, Zapata now forward to Comey, waiting for some support. Salafu should spread that out. He does. Garitano, uncharacteristic there from Garitano, usually goes towards the ball, but he seemed to step away from it there. Ionita forward, Comey holds it up well. Vidushi is there inside the box onto his right foot, blocked shot. Comey offside. Not great, but you can see the makings of the team. You can see that they are trying to adjust to the way that I have been playing, I suppose, for all my teams in Football Manager 2016 so far, with the short passing. As Comey gets into the box, right-footed shot, goes for the near post. I think the far post would have been the better option there for him, but nonetheless, shot on target, can't complain. Garitano now. I just had to try and get Garitano. At first he wasn't available for loan. I just checked on him again recently and he was there. And I do think he'll do better for us than Karapi would. Salafu lifting in, Comey with a header, and that's poor. Wasn't really challenged for that header there. He just couldn't get over it and get it on target. So, a fairly pedestrian first half. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We'll just say you can do better. Complacency and people switching off is not really what you want to see. But let's see what we can do when we come back out. At least the team talk's gone down fairly well. And again, as what you expect, you start off as a an unknown manager. You used to play Sunday League football, and your reputation and everything will build up over time. And certainly I found that with the Hexagon Challenge. I'm finding out here that players are starting to respect what you say a little bit more as you do more in the game, which is fairly realistic, I would imagine. You wouldn't want to listen to someone who hadn't really done anything in football management. Good challenge there from Alborno, turning over possession, but that's why we like to play short passing, because he's just given that away. And Alessandria will now come forward with a chance here. Bocalon, shot from a tight angle, and very fortunate there that we didn't concede. Hitting the post, back off of Brignoli, and nearly trickling over that line. Wonder how many subs we can make that we've got 12. I feel like a Sven-Goran Eriksson little experiment going on, 10 substitutes at a time. Saying that though, on all my friendlies I tend to change the entire team round at 60 minutes. More for the point of view just to get fitness levels back up. Right, it seems to be going a little sluggish at the moment. Fischnaller with the free kick and it's over. Don't know, I think they must have been making a number of changes there. 60 minutes now. Gonna leave it another few minutes. We might get a chance here. Salafu over the top for Calvaries. And disappointing cross there. Couldn't find Comey. Alborno will now try. And it's blocked again. Vidushi into Comey. Nope. We're not going to get a chance here. Seljak should surely clear this. And he does. Alright, 65 minutes. Right, let's see what we can do. So, complacency, as I say, I am not a fan of. So, let's bring on Desi in the middle of the park there. Complacency out wide in the left. Well, Barai will get a shot. Garitano has not played particularly well today, so let's try Oikonomidis down there. Right, is it going to let us make any more? No. So you get 12 substitutes, but you can't make them all. Yeah, okay, I think I'll probably do it. I mean, Salafu's not playing particularly well, but at least he's got the right attitude. I do not like complacency, especially when you're at low league management and you sign players from clubs higher up. I don't like signing players that have a bit of an ego. So certainly, if the game can tell me that that's what they're showing during the game, I will bring them off. Salafu with a shot, pretty tame, straight at the goalkeeper. Just hope Alessandria don't score here in the last 10 minutes. We have looked fairly comfortable, apart from a scare off the post. But it would have been nice to have had a bit more of a comfortable margin than 1-0. But we'll take what we can get. As I say, it's a new squad. I mean, looking at it compared to last season, only Garitano and Alborno are playing who were playing last year. So we've changed everything around, really. Oikonomidis here, trying to get the ball in. Blocked cross for a throw now. Calvaries with the throw. Oikonomidis back to Calvaries. Whips it in. Across the face of goal. Very dangerous cross, but not really seeing anyone trying to get on the end of it. And I guess if you had a poacher there, they might have tried to get onto that. Zapata now blocked cross. Calvaries gets it in, but it's straight to the goalkeeper. I think that probably will be the highlights from this game. So not really a great deal happening. As I say, I think it will take time for this team to gel and to see the best of them. But I really do think there's a lot of good players in our squad, and I think that it should be a good season. I'm looking forward to it. As Alessandria will come forward for one last chance here. Branca loses out to Bubnic. Good challenge. Rather uncompromising challenge there from our new centre-back. And I will probably review the club captaincy because there's not much point in Lucarelli. Oh dear, oof, that was close. That was a golden opportunity there for them to equalise. But yeah, Lucarelli probably won't play an awful lot this year. So it doesn't really make sense for him to be club captain. Well, it was a good win. There wasn't really much else to say. You can see from the morale it's not really as high as it could be, so we've obviously got to try and Juan Antonio was a key player and he didn't even play. Right, okay. So Alessandria are top on goal difference at the moment. I'm not going to do the other game from the Serie C Cup. I'm going to see how things go in the league, but I reckon the first commentary I'll do will be the away match to Vicenza. I expect Vicenza to be at the top or thereabouts, and with it being an away game, it should be quite interesting. So guys, if you've made it all the way to the end of this episode, congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back, gold star, however you want to celebrate it. It's been a long episode, but I think it's been worthwhile to go through the signings. Changing a team that much over the course of a summer, I think I had to spend a little bit of time on it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please leave a like, drop me a comment, let me know what you think of the new look squad. Do you like the way it's going? Do you think I've done anything wrong? How do you think we'll do this year in the season? Let me know in the comments box. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, make sure you come back for some more. And until the next time guys, I'll see you when I see you.